Hey guys, Darcy here, and today we're going to go over how I like to go about comping vocals in Luna. Let's get into it. Alright, so we're in Luna now, right? And I've opened up like a fake session here to demonstrate when it comes to my approach with comping up vocals. So let's say that in this project, with only one track, the client said this vocal and this is the original take. And let's say, because I'm actually pulling vocals from a real session, they send you another file saying, I didn't like this part, can you, comp this in? So right now I'm looking at this track here, and what I would first do is open up my track versions, right? And so let's say this is like the original take. We'll just call it that for now, original, right? And then we're gonna create a new version, okay? It's completely blank. And I'm gonna open up my Finder here, and I'm gonna just grab one of these files from the actual stuff that they sent me, and so we can see that this is like a specific comp from a specific area. It's actually two parts, right? So let's just say hypothetically, without listening to any of this stuff, because we don't need that for this example, I just know that this part is better, okay? So when I go between them, you can see that my cursor stays selected in that area that I had from before as I go between the two versions, right? So, and also using the grid is super helpful here to ensure that whatever edits I'm about to make will stay in the exact same place and don't shift slightly. Especially with like, say, rap vocals, the timing is super important. So a slight millisecond shift will make it feel very different, especially offbeat. So let's just say hypothetically, I'm actually going to take this part here, and this is what we're going to want to comp in. So I'm on the new version, right? Let's just call it the new one. And we go Command C, go down to the other version, and go Command V, and it will paste it in automatically. Now, let's just say, okay, that looks a little tight on the right-hand side here. It's getting close to that vocal. So out of safety, I'm going to drag this back. I'm going to hold Command on my keyboard, drag it back a little bit, bring the other one over. Yeah, get it nice and close like that. And then we're just going to do that little crossfade, right? And then we can do the crossfade here. Another option I might also do is, just because I don't like this, let's say there's a breath here, I'll delete that and then go over this area and hit F and fade them, right? And now that's how I'm going to get my comping done there, okay? So this is the aspect where you are taking different versions and trying to bring them together, okay? All right, so another thing that we might do with our comping is we want to clean up the vocal, and we want to remove breaths and silences, and we want to be able to also have the ability to move the clip that we edit around the grid, okay? So let's take a look at this here. Let's just say, okay, this clip, I want to clean it up a little bit, so I'm going to select around either side of it. I'm going to do a Command T to clean up everything on the left and right. And then, okay, I look over here on the left and I go, there's like a little bit of breath on the front here. I'm going to delete that out, put a little fade so there's no clipping. I go through here, and I'm obviously like not listening to this right now, so there might be some issues, but in general, I would listen and make these cleaning choices as I'm going. So, I'm going through here. I'm like, okay, it's a little bit more, so let's just get this real quick. Another way to add the fades all together is I'm going to go and delete that, and I'm going to do Command A, Command, and then F, and it'll apply a fade to everything, and I can adjust them if, like this one looks like might be a little too much. So we can make these kinds of choices, right? Okay, and that looks like a little issue there. Let's just say I'm going to delete that for now. I'm going to just do some fades. I'm obviously just making choices on the fly here. So the thing that about this though, and I'm looking at this, is that, okay, so let's say I wanted to adjust my arrangement later. Okay, but I grab this, it's not on the grid. And now when I drag it somewhere else, how am I going to make sure it's still in time with the song? So what we're going to do is we're going to make this all one consolidated clip. So we would say, for instance, I'm going to bring my measurement back up to being a whole bar, right? So then I would zoom out a little bit here, grab from this bar to the next bar, and we do Option Shift 3, and that'll make a consolidated clip. But we have a problem here that you may not think about right away. It's that what happens if one of those edits was not perfect? So I'm going to Command Z, and what we're going to do is we're going to go back over to our track versions. We're going to duplicate the version. And this one we're going to call comp. The old one we're going to call edits or whatever you want. I'll go back to my comps, and then I'm going to do Command-Shift-3, and I have the consolidated version. Go back to my edits, and I have the edited version. So this allows me to comp in my old version that I could still, drag out, use the healing tool on between spaces, which is Command H for healing. And you still have the ability to go backwards and get your stuff quite easily without doing a whole bunch of undoing or going back in your song versions. But you now have this consolidated clip that I could drag around that I know is nice and clean. And it, when I want to move it to this part or that part of the song, it'll be in time and easy to work with. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, let me know. Let me know if you got any questions. I'd be happy to go over that for you. Anyways, have a good one.